I'll tell you about the structural engineers. One major drawback we see. It's not mandatory that you have to go abroad to get that international exposure. Right away in Kerala, there are many companies who are outsourcing for UK-based companies, US-based companies. If you need to get an exposure in the abroad, you need to get used to the codes of practice exactly where you are planning to move for. Tekla is one of the detailing software used for steel structure detailing. It's not a design software, it's for detailing. For site execution, totally it is different rather than in India. Dealing with people is very important. You cannot expect everyone to be fair with you. Will be there to, bring troubles to you in your career. You should be smart enough to deal with these people, then you will succeed.
Beyond the calculations, coordination also is an important factor, right, sir? So, how that project management skills can ensure them a safety in their career? Good evening and welcome to Skills by Civilianz Vodcast on global opportunities for structural engineers. Today we are honored to have with us Mr. Abhinath Bhuvaneswaran, sir, a Dubai-based structural engineering professional and a business leader with extensive expertise in steel structure design and industrial projects. Currently, sir is co-founder and managing partner of AZKTW Construction Contracting LLC Dubai and technical manager of AZK Technical Works LLC Dubai. So we are truly excited to have you on this session.
Hi Anjali, good evening. Thank you for the warm welcome.
Okay, sir. Actually, so many young aspirants are watching this podcast session. So, and also they have an aspiration to get into international project work. So, can you briefly explain them about your journey from working in India to get into international projects?
Okay, I'll give you a brief intro about myself. Actually, I did AMI, which is not a BTech, it's not a regular course. It's conducted by the Institution of Engineers. So I did the AMI and I graduated in 2015. Then I worked in sites in India, in Cochin and in Alleppey for 2 years. Then I did my master's in structural and construction engineering from NIT Jalandhar. So all this time, in AMI there is an advantage. Not like BTech, we can specialize into one stream. For example, if you are interested into structural, you can choose the subjects which are core towards the structural design. But after MTech also, I was working as a site engineer. Then after MTech, I got into a startup company in Cochin, where I started learning about Tekla. Tekla is one of the detailing software used for steel structure detailing. It's not a design software, it's for detailing. For steel structure, there is two softwares. One is for the design, which is the structural analysis software, and the other one is for preparing fabrication drawings, which is most commonly used software is Tekla structures. So I was there to learn about modeling 3D in Tekla structures. Then we get international projects which were outsourced in this company. So I got the basic exposure to international projects from that company. So there I used to do connection design and collaborate with senior modelers and check whether the connections they are using is correct as per the design drawings prepared by the clients. They were mostly like Qatar Petroleum, AIC, Arabian International Company, like this 2-3 clients were there. So this was my opportunity and first exposure to international projects. It's not mandatory that you have to go abroad to get that international exposure. Right away in Kerala, there are many companies who are outsourcing for UK-based companies, US-based companies. Many of my friends are working there. Even my previous company where I worked in Dubai, they have an office in Cochin. Many of the leading companies in Dubai have their back-end office, their main engineering offices in Cochin itself. Cochin, Kannur, Calicut, all these places have backup offices. So the best thing, before you go out to a foreign country, the best thing you can do is get that exposure. At least try to learn international codes, their building regulations, the way of practicing these things right away from the home ground. So most of the people who move out to other foreign countries, other than for like doing masters or doing a course, They get jobs because they have some kind of an exposure to the codes or the relevant practices that are being done there, right away from India. For me also, I got this basic experience from India. It's not a vast experience. I had like only 6 months of experience there, but it was because it was a startup company. I got the opportunity to learn more things. So always as a fresher, it's always better to go into, if you are ready to take the risk, go into something very small. Don't stick on to only your, some people all nowadays stick on to their job description only. I never used to do that in the initial days of my career. I always tried to learn whatever things out of, even I can tell I'm just a structural engineer, I'll do this thing alone. But more than just structural design, I was into project management, sometimes maintaining a company. Now, why I am able to run a company is because, my second company, after first company, when I came to UAE also, it was a small startup company. So I used to do everything for the company. It's not like, being a slave or anything. If you have the mindset to start something, it's better to do the same thing in someone's investment than you yourself investing into it. So if you need to get an exposure in the abroad, you need to get used to the codes of practice exactly where you are planning to move for. For example, if you are coming to UAE, get used to the standards that we follow here in the UAE. There are Indian standards we are not following here. Here, mostly American and European codes. For steel structure design, it is always American codes, and the regulations are based on the American codes. Specifically for H Emirates, they have regulations. So try to figure out these things. You get so much of courses online as well. In the YouTube also, you get a lot of guidelines. You can directly download this. Dubai building code from the Dubai municipality website itself. So from there you can figure out if you are planning to come to UAE, what you have to learn and what you should focus on. If you are moving to other countries, then for example, if you are going to Australia, they have their specific codes, and China also they have their specific codes, and all the European countries they follow Euro codes. Mostly in the Middle Eastern countries, they follow American codes. So this is the first thing you have to do when you are planning to move out to this country as a structural design if you are planning to. For site execution, totally it is different. Rather than in India, the safety concerns, there should be like, when you are going to do an activity here, you should have a method statement for that. It's not right to tell everyone is following or not, that is other thing. But 99% of the site, it will follow the method statement which is approved by the consultant and the authority. You have to follow this. Then stage by stage inspections will be there that we need to follow. There should be strict documentation for the QC, all these things related to the activities which are going, the manpower, their insurances. So all these things are stringent in countries like the Middle East. So this is one thing we never, because I worked inside for almost 4 or 5 years in India, but there it is like there is nothing. Even on the paper, there is nothing. Whatever we do as per our knowledge. That's it. This is the difference between a foreign country experience and what we have in India. But nowadays things are changing in India also, that we can see in many sites people are trying to implement. Most of the engineers who worked abroad who are going back to they're trying to implement these things in their own, even private projects they are implementing.
Sir, already you mentioned about the differences in the regulations and all things when we considering abroad and Indian. So, in design procedures, is there any changes, sir?
Design wise, if you see, there is only the regulations is based on the code which we are following. Design philosophy is same for steel structure in India, US, America, or even UK. Everywhere you go, there is only two type of design philosophy. One is the working stress method, and the other one is the limit state method. Based on these two methods, they have their own parameters. For the Indian standard, they have a different parameter, and for US standard, they have different parameters. This is based on the experience and the conditions we have in these countries. For example, in India, we have in the northern parts we have snow loads, but in southern parts we don't have snow loads, and the seismic factor will vary based on the terrain also. So this is common for every code. It is common, but the parameters and the values for each parameters vary from code to code. So there is nothing to by heart on this thing. If you know Indian standard to design the seismic load as per Indian standard, it is easy to learn the same seismic load which has to be applied as per US code or Euro code. The parameters will only vary, but you know the concept means how to do the load application in the software, how to manually check these things, then it doesn't matter at all. Code you can learn very easily, and nowadays there is lot of advanced softwares where you don't have to by heart any code. You can input the code. Only thing is you need to define parameters based on the requirement for each site, based on the soil report or the site condition. So that is not at all an issue nowadays.
Okay, sir. If you consider the point of view of an aspirant, the lack of understanding the opportunities about these global things are maybe a factor affecting their career. Understanding
See,
about.
understanding about global thing is secondary, but we should understand the opportunity we have in India also. There are many people in working India in the same sector who are earning much more than people who are working abroad. That is the fact, because many of the concession giant consultants like WSP, all these companies have many of their offices in Bangalore. Many of my friends are working in multiple multinational companies in Bangalore. They are earning much higher than people who are earning abroad as structural engineers. They have better, lifestyle in India itself. It's not like, you go abroad, you will earn. It's not like that always. It's not the truth. Sometimes, you work hard, you get good opportunity, you will succeed. Even if you come to a Gulf country or a foreign country, not it's not true that you will earn more if you go abroad. For example, if you are going to UK or somewhere, you have more taxes. You earn more, you pay more tax. So at the end of the day, you will spend more than what you earn. Even it's same for, like, in GCC countries. Maybe if you compare to India, if you're getting 60,000 in India, here, if you get 1 lakh also, like maybe 5,000 dirhams is equivalent to 1 lakh.
Yeah.
So you will have more than that experience. Otherwise, you will have to, if you need to send something back to India, you should learn at least like more than that. Otherwise, you will have to squeeze yourself down. So there is always like, and thing which is what I have experienced from my fellow colleagues from other countries is that in our educational system, we are not actually practicing something to go practical. Like, for the example, the projects we do, sometimes mostly irrelevant projects, which is maybe we are doing some projects, most of the BTech projects we see around, it's totally irrelevant. We don't know how to do it. Maybe someone has done it 10 years back already. We may be altering something and it is totally irrelevant to do it again. We are fine tuning. Maybe it's fine tuning, it goes to research, it is good. But for a person, rather than doing the same repeated thing, if they are learning the design, if they are going to do if someone is for example, a structural department project, if they are doing, which is practically oriented, if they are doing as per what is actually happening in the industry, that will be much better. Most of the projects, even I did the same mistake in my graduation time as well as masters. That's why I'm telling. I did a project to design a building. I don't know whether it is cost effective, whether it is practically possible to do this building. We do a comparative study. Most of the students in structural do this mistake. They do some comparative study with other thing. But is it really useful or not is the real question. I see in other countries like Egyptian universities, their final year project is like a real life project. They do actual design, they do the optimization, they do cost analysis. These things we don't do actually. We make some estimate based on what we design, but is it really the actual cost which is happening? Because most of the faculties are also not having the practical experience. Maybe that is the shortcoming in this field, I believe. In these countries, if you see, most of the professors, they'll be having like experience working in companies. They will be having their own facility for design. Even in when I was doing masters, there the professors had their own consultancies. They are working for outside projects for the university. If you see NITs and IITs, many of the infrastructure projects are designed by the professors of NITs and IITs. So there you get the exposure to learn from these professors. If you are working under these professors for your masters or PhD, then you get a good exposure there. So these people will succeed. Other than if most of the people who are studying in normal colleges, they get very less opportunity to learn. Maybe you will get a cube test. That is mostly what we do in colleges there. Other than that, a core design of a structure, maybe we do, but it may not be practically the real one.
Do you remember that point in your journey where you realize that going into outside can accelerate your professional growth?
Uh,
Do you
to be
remember
f-
that particular point?
To be frank, I came abroad not because to grow or anything. My fiancée was in Dubai, so I eventually had to come to Dubai. That's the real reason. I can just say around that, I wanted to move out and grow. No, it's not like that. I wanted to do
Okay.
something. I wanted to get that exposure because my fiancée was also here. But see, there is one misconception about people also. You need someone to recommend someone to get a job in like a country like UAE. Always need someone to recommend. I never got a job because of recommendation from anyone. Especially in my past company, it is one of the leading pre-engineered manufacturers in the UAE. So there, I got the job not because someone recommended me. I went there. See, you have to be smart also. I just went in there and asked if you have an opportunity for this. I saw their job posting in the LinkedIn. I applied it on the LinkedIn, but there was no response. So one important thing for aspirants who are applying for jobs in UAE is, I see many people come here on visit visa and they apply, but they will always say, I apply 100 jobs a day, but I didn't get any response. You have to find the right job vacancy and you have to for example, when I am posting a posting in my company, I get more than 200 applicants applying for the same post in a day. Maybe I'll get more than 1,000 applicants in a week. I will not be able to review all these people's CV. If someone is showing up, okay, this guy is genuinely interested, and if I see his profile matching to my requirement, I will always prefer to hire him. This thing I understood in my early days when I came here. So because I showed up there, even though they didn't shortlist me to the interview or anything, I just went there and told I wanted to, appear for an interview. If you are okay, you can try out giving me a chance. They gave me an interview. I got selected, and next week I joined the company. So this is one thing I always tell people who are coming to UAE: don't just apply and sit there. If you find the real opportunity that is matching to your profile, go for it. Show up yourself there. Try to call these companies. You will get anyone's number from Google Map. You can go and contact them, and at least go and show up at their office. Sometimes it will work, sometimes it may not work. But if it is destined to be yours, you will get it.
Means whatever opportunities are there on their way, they have to grab it. Real, sir.
Exactly, because for one opportunity, if you see any job posting in LinkedIn, maybe it is posted one day back, you will see 1,000 applicants. No
Mm.
HR or no recruiting officer can review 1,000 CV in a day or two.
Yeah.
So, and people really show up, and sometimes, some people everywhere. If you see in UAE, especially UAE is a country where too much of Indians, especially people from Kerala, are are too much in every company, actually. So, if there is a vacancy, then people always try to, push someone from their side inside. So that is always there, and there, if you need to grab your place, you should show up. So you see a right opportunity matching to your, profile. Because I got this job because I know this company long before because one of my friend was working in their Cochin office.
Mm.
So it was always there in my shortlist. So when you try to go abroad, you should have this list of companies where you want to work. So whenever you see an opportunity, maybe that, and even that position was not matching to my profile. It was just in the project management department. I grabbed it. I wanted to get into this company, so I grabbed that opportunity. I went in there, and after like 1 year, I moved to the design department. So if you want to grow, you should have that. You should have that plan. Get in there and execute your plans. Get to where you want. And just like, if you think my profile is totally different. I used to hear people asking me, why you are coming to this department after doing masters? You have this experience also. This is totally not your department. No, but I learned many things from that department, because many corporate, because it's a MNC company, there are many things which other departments will not be able to understand, how the company is running. All these things I learned from that only department. So that's how.
Okay. So since our topic is about the global opportunities for structural engineers, I'm asking this question.
Yeah.
Nowadays, the Middle East is considered as a destination with more opportunities in the field of civil and structural engineers, especially in the field of steel structure. So, what may be the reasons, sir?
See, basically here in UAE, especially, the regulation for each emirate is different. And nowadays, every emirate is trying to follow Dubai. Dubai is one of the emirates which has very stringent policies regarding manpower and technical staff allocation for the projects. So here in companies, we can perform jobs, like we can take projects based on our manpower strength and the engineer's capacity. One engineer can take, if our company, based on the level of the company also, there is like licensing for G+1, G+4, then G+12, then G plus unlimited. So if our company is G+1, then the area allocation that you can do for one engineer will be less. And we need minimum, 10 laborers to start a project here in our company's sponsorship and our visa. And we should have our own, labors for this. We cannot take from subcontractors or anything. And equally important is the engineer. So one engineer, maybe we can take 15,000 square feet at a time for one engineer. So if we have 3 or 4 projects that crosses 15,000, the total area crosses 15,000, then we'll have to hire another engineer. Unless these projects close, we cannot allocate the same engineer to another project. Same is with when we upgrade to G plus unlimited, there is a requirement that you should have one unlimited licensed engineer, then G plus 12 licensed engineer, I think two, then G plus 4 licensed engineer, I think two or three. It is based on the Dubai municipality's regulation. So this many engineers is minimum required for you to attain this license. So companies mandatory. It's mandatory for the company to have these engineers who are qualified and they are certified as well. So more projects are coming, means, some projects we are doing, it is more than like 42,000 square feet, 42,000 square meters. So 42,000 square meter, I will require minimum 3 engineers in my company to execute the single project. If I have 6 or 7 projects like that, I need that many engineers who are civil engineers in my company at a time. Even if they are working or not, I should have this much of engineers to take up these projects. So day by day, other municipalities like other emirates like Sharjah is also nowadays implementing this regulation. And here, not like India, as a consultant and contractor cannot be the same person. Even in India, I think it is like that, because here, if the consultant and contractor, if I have a consultancy in my name, I cannot start up a contracting firm. It's to avoid any kind of malpractices. If because everything the contractor is giving, the consultant is certifying. So these two persons, if they will have equal requirement for engineers. If consultancies have to take this much of projects, they should have this much of engineers. Same thing is with the contractors. And also here in Dubai, as well as Sharjah also nowadays, Sharjah Emirates also, they have separate exam for civil and steel structure. They have separate examination. So steel structure, you have a separate certification from the municipality. With that only you can take a project. So for taking a project in steel structure, your company should have the license for steel structure as well as a licensed engineer from the municipality also. So this is actually a good opportunity for engineers because if you have the certification, you also have always have that right to get good package in the company also, because when you are in the company, projects are being taken in your name, you have that responsibility. Same way, the company also have commitment towards you, because you move out tomorrow, the company will be in trouble because they will have to hire someone else to replace you. They cannot stop the running projects, and all these things are interlinked here. That is one of the best thing. Everything is interlinked. If one engineer is gone, next day my system will show you don't have engineer, you don't have the capability to do this project. So that is one best thing about this country for engineers, especially civil engineers, not like other streams. Even I think electrical engineers also they have the opportunity, but first and foremost is for civil engineers. This is one big opportunity. It's there since long time everywhere, but now other municipalities are also implementing this thing for steel structures. So gradually this will go ahead. And why there is so much of steel structure going on in Dubai is because here the we think Dubai is only a tourist place, or maybe oil and gas is the only thing. It's not like that. There is a lot of manufacturing and logistic operations going in the Emirates, especially in UAE. It is one of the hub for logistics. Very large logistic warehouses are being built. Logistics hub are being built. So there are many new industrial areas are being opened. One industrial area may be having like 3,000, 4,000 warehouses, and all these projects are coming up. Like nowadays, all too many projects are there in the market. So opportunity is there, and this place is not sustaining just because of the tourism or just the oil. There is a lot of things. International trade is happening through Dubai. Most of the companies they will stock their material in Dubai and ship to other countries. So logistics wise also this country is expanding like anything. So the opportunity is always there. Even I had the confusion in my early stage whether this country can sustain, but there is opportunity always. You have to find it, the right opportunity, you have to figure it out. That's it.
Sir, you already mentioned about the license and tests that the aspirants have to carry it out while getting into a job in the Middle East. So, I think the students on their academics they are studying on the basis of Indian standards. Their projects works or anything is based on Indian standards. So, so I think maybe this type of tests or license that if they pass on that, they will get a clear idea about the that particular country's standard on design structures and all. Is it like that, sir?
Yeah, exactly. See, most of the questions being asked for this grade by grade. For example, G plus one, if you are going for steel structure, they will ask very basic questions related to the code, the standards, the material grades, and especially every structural engineer, it is very important to stick on to the basics. They will ask shear force, bending moment diagrams, all these things that everyone should know. I see many aspirants coming to know, be structural engineer. They know the software, how to do the design by software. When it comes to fundamental calculation, many of the people, they cannot draw a bending moment diagram or shear force diagram. uh, any software we can learn anytime, it's not an issue. Any software will give an output based on the input that you give. So it is always important that you can always only judge the output based on the input you have given. So software may give, for example, will give you the result as passed for a structure. Maybe it is passing, but if you don't know how the structure should actually behave based on the bending moment diagram and shear force diagram, you cannot judge where the input is wrong or something you have given to the software is wrong. So it is very important. Stick on to basics. If you are good at basics, you can succeed to a very good level in structural engineering as per. And you are asking about examination and its impact towards learning. See,
Yeah.
here the exams, for example, for the G plus one, it is purely based on the basic questions. So for a person to do a project for only single floor, G plus one, ground plus first floor. You are capable to do this kind of building. You will be asked questions based on that. But there will be questions related to code. For example, the wind load, seismic load, the parameters which we use here, and grade of steels, all these things, basic things, which is as per what is being done here, they will ask. So it's not that tough, but if you are totally unaware of these basic things, you cannot pass also. That is there. So the basic
Basic
knowledge is
knowledge.
exactly, if you are practically doing something related to this, you can easily pass. But it's not based on the IS code, it is based on American and Euro codes. Because here, concrete design is based on ACI code, which is American code for concrete design. And steel structure is also American code only. The Dubai Municipality Code, it is prepared based on this code. Even the loading, everything is based on American standards. Only
Okay,
for
so the
material
reference code is
testing,
American code there, right, sir?
yeah, it
Okay.
is the reference they have because the Dubai building code is prepared based on AC. So other than that, for material testing and all, they use Euro codes. Euro code design is acceptable, but most of the Dubai municipality and everywhere we are practicing only American codes. For material testing, we have Euro standards.
Okay, sir. If a particular aspirant is getting into a career, the most important factor they are considered is about the career growth and the salary or salary increment or like that of things. So, considering your Middle East countries, what kind of salary or career growth can an aspirant really expect?
See, here in Middle East, you can be a CEO or owner in any time if you are, investing your initial days of career. People, because here, if you see in most of the companies, it is led by mostly Malayalis. You see, leading companies, all the major leading companies, people are leading CEOs, everyone, mostly Indians and mostly from Kerala only. Why it is happening is because initial days they all started from this position only. My previous company CEO, he started as a sales engineer from the lowest position. From there, people will grow. If you are good, you are smart, there is always opportunity here. And my personal motto is like, see, till the day your last working day, try to do as much as thing as possible, regardless what they pay you. They should feel when you move out, you were, not fairly paid. If we paid fairly, he would have stayed back with us. And see, don't I see many people have different financial background. So every if people are moving abroad, it's basically they want a better financial situation. That's the main thing. But initial days here, especially in the Middle East, we have too much of people coming here, especially engineers. It's like surplus in the market, and call it, if you have the the knowledge, you gain the knowledge, you are good, then then after maybe the initial days of career will be tough, but stick on to some place, get the till the day you get enough knowledge and confidence, stay there, and grab as much of knowledge as possible, then opportunity is there always. Especially here in steel structure, from my perspective, from my background, we have like 7 or 8 major companies who are doing pre-engineered steel structure. When a person move out from one company, the other person from the other company will be hired by this company. It's like a, people from one place move to the other place, it will go around. So we all know each other. It's one good thing because, when I move out, I created one vacancy plus the other one when person came to replace me. So opportunities like that in every field. In steel also, there are many companies coming up, new companies are there. So opportunity wise to grow, some companies will always, I will not tell every company will see you what you are doing for the company and they will give you growth. If they don't give you the growth, you will get the growth from somewhere else, but don't focus on just your salary. But uh, doesn't mean you do everything the company tells also. You should have your focus, do everything you want to learn for, that doesn't should not be limited for the salary. But some people will exploit everywhere, even here or anywhere you go. Every employer, not everyone, most of the people may try to exploit you. That is there. You have to be smart enough to balance it. You cannot expect a healthy employer or as well as a healthy employee, because I have been both now. So I'm trying to be in the balanced state, not to exploit anyone, not anyone to exploit myself also. To be, see, many of the young experience, what I see is, uh, getting into an employment is not a business, is nothing to be loyal. It is very professional relationship. You are being paid for what you are doing. So do the work, respect the money which you are being paid for. You agreed this amount to get this job because you know this is what they are going to pay for. So if it is not fair enough for you, don't join for the job. But wait for the right opportunity where you can go there. At least, when you are going to a company, you are making a contract for 2 years. Every after 1 year, it is like whether the management can decide to give you an increment or not. It is up to the management. After 2 years, you are free to move out, or even after 1 year or after 6 months of your probation, you are free to move out. If you don't find it right, you can always move out of the company. Doesn't matter. Nobody can hold you back. No company can hold you back. If you are joining another company, the only thing here in Middle East is UAE is that the new employer will have to pay the expenses for the other company for the visa and other things. That's it. So opportunity wise, you get experience. Sticking on to a good company is always the best thing, because now it's a boom, but we don't know till where the boom will be there. So,
Okay, sir. For an employee to get work into the structural engineering field in a global environment, so what should that particular person should have a technical skill? What type of technical skills or any tools they need to know more to get mastering or to get shine in that particular career and
see,
globally?
anywhere you go, for structural engineers, the basic fundamentals is very important. Tools and everything we will have to keep upgrading. Today, maybe the software which is being used today will not be used after maybe 10 or 15 years, because the softwares which you used in before 10 or 15 years was, there was no software, it was hand calculation. Now we are not using. Today we are using some softwares for doing this calculation, but there are very smart guys out there in this field right now who are automating everything. They are doing. We don't have to even manually model anything. Just enter. There is parametric modeling. Many advanced tools are there. Where the it is under development with AI also. So maybe in another 10 or 15 years, things will be like design. If you are doing a conventional design, you don't have to put an engineer there and do this thing. So we have to be very smart to adapt to new tools. Otherwise, any field, not only in structural engineering, we will be filled out very soon because we have to adopt to new technology. There are many people who, we see who doesn't grow in their career is because they are not adapting to new technologies. They are used to their old conventional practice, means you cannot match with the speed of young and new people, because we see many new people which they are using very advanced tools with VBA programming. They develop their own tools for design, connection design, and all this stuff, which most or 95 percentage of the engineers nowadays who are working in the field doesn't know. So maybe in another 2 or 3 years, these things will come as a tool package for us, for the engineers who are doing. Not everyone will have the skill set to develop these things, but only thing is you get used to these things. What new technology is coming, we have to be prepared to learn it. That mindset should be there. Any structural engineer you get into the career, the very important thing is structural engineering is a field where you cannot stop learning till your last day of your career. The codes will keep revising, the practices will keep changing, the softwares will keep changing. So every day you will have to give some time to learn new things. then you will develop your career. Otherwise, you go for RCC design or steel structure design, there is no end. Even I have a very limited knowledge only. There is lot of things that I don't know. But to excel in your career, you don't have to learn everything also, because in practical aspect there is only few things that which comes every time, and there like very rarely. For example, a torsional design for a beam, it will not happen every time. When there is a torsion will not be there in normal structures. Very specifically from some specific structures only will have that kind of an effect. So mostly conventional structures, it is all typical. So there you need to stick on to basics, learn the basics, and do things without doing repeated mistakes. Learn from the mistakes. You should have a checklist. As a structural engineer, it is very important you have a checklist. Everything you do is what is going to be the primary responsibility of the structural engineer to make the structure structurally safe. Your design is wrong, then total catastrophic disaster it will be. So it is very important for structural engineers to stick on to their basics. Strong basics will make you a better structural engineer always.
Okay, sir. If we consider many aspirants or young engineers, they often assume that technical knowledge alone can guide them in their career. But beyond the calculations, coordination also is an important factor, right, sir? So, how that project management skills can ensure them a safety in their career? Project management skills. Can we discuss about that also?
Yeah, yeah. I will tell you about the structural engineers. One major drawback we see, there are many structural engineers in many companies. They are working in the office for maybe 10 or 15 years, but never went to a site practically. They have never seen this being how it is being executed or any of these things. They never experienced it in face. We see that in many companies, especially pre-engineered manufacturing companies. They have offices, but they don't go to site. Then in many of the consultants who design, they don't go to site and they don't know whether how this has to be executed. So one primary important thing is you should have the site experience as well. Some people from their starting of career, they get opportunity to start as a junior design engineer. They'll start doing design of structures, then gradually they'll grow, but they never get the opportunity to see what is actually happening at site. Designing something is totally different from execution. If people think like that, it is wrong. To be a good designer, you should have the knowledge about site. What will be the clashes? How difficult it will be to execute a structure at site. This is foremost important for a design engineer. So especially in the field of steel structures, because for concrete we will make form work, and then we will cast the concrete. So that is still manageable. But when it comes to steel structure, it is like mostly bolted connections. We'll have to assemble structures in the site. So sometimes we face many projects because the engineer who designed this building will not see the difficulty to erect the steel structure. In India also we see many projects where, for example, in railway projects, I know I don't want to mention where it happened. There was some camber issue because during the design they have to give, if the span is more, the design engineer have to give more camber so that when they lift it, it will have a settlement and it will be in tolerance limit. So these things is minor checks, but other than that, there are the clash issues will be there. Maybe the design engineer will only see about the structural thing of the steel structure. It has to be cladded or it has to be covered is maybe the responsibility of someone else. So some structure they will design, they will not consider all these things. So this is very important. And towards project management, design experience, design knowledge is very good for a project manager. If you have a good design knowledge, you can be a very good project manager, because most of the project managers I have met personally in projects, they have very limited knowledge about the design philosophy. They are very good at executing projects at site, managing the manpower, meeting targets. But why? What is the thing which is lacking in them is the technical knowledge about the design. Sometimes, this will become a big disaster in some projects also, because they don't know if what they are doing right or wrong. Some projects, if there are some issues at site, to finish it, they may do something, some alteration, without thinking whether it is safe or not. One of the projects I know, one of my friends' projects, there it is in a villa. They did a steel beam, and there they have to pass the duct through the steel beam. The project manager there, what did is he just cut the bottom flange and the web of the steel beam. Design wise, it will never pass, but the building is standing. So this is one thing the project manager has to foresee. And then the next thing is the main agenda of a project manager is to get his projects done as per the project plan. So initially, when we make a project plan, the project as a project manager, I should be aware how much manpower, how much machinery I need for this project, what will be the cost budget, whether it is matching as per my estimators price for the project, it is matching. Within this time schedule which my planning engineer has done, whether I can execute this. So in what ways I can optimize these things to get it done at site, and if all these things which are being executed at site is actually correct as per the design. If some, maybe some projects you will have subcontractors for doing erection, steel structure erection, you will have subcontractors. Whether these people are actually following the sequence which has to be, the method statement they are giving is actually correct. All these things, as a project manager, if I need to know, I should have the technical knowledge. And if I am very good, very strong at technically strong at this, then nobody can play around. I can stick on to my schedules. I can tell this project will take this much time only. You have to finish it, means you have to finish it. And the way you can finish it, I can also, guide them. This is how you can finish it. To become a good project manager also, it is very important to have the technical knowledge. And project management side, here you see there is a lot of certification courses, PMP. You can get certified very easily, but to have the knowledge of
Practical
a project,
application.
practical knowledge, you have to work. Unless then any certificate will not work. You have all the certifications, but you don't know how many manpower is required to finish this, or what is the machine required to finish this. Maybe in papers you can make something, but in real life you will be like people will find it out very easily.
So my next question is actually about at what stage in their career they should start, or they should aspire about the project management skills. I think, but actually have mentioned that in the early stage itself it's needed, right, sir?
See, very basically, from when you want to go to project management or any site, my preference will be someone having a technical knowledge as a project manager, because many
Mm.
of the project managers, they don't know design. What is the issue
Mm.
with the design? If you do something wrong also, what will be the consequences, you have to do know, so that you will not do it. Most of the project managers doesn't know the design, so that they, if I don't know the design, I will be least bothered about the consequence. If I know the design, I will always have this fear inside. If I do this, this is wrong, this will have this impact, the structure may
Yeah,
fail because of
definitely.
this.
Yeah.
So that is very important as a project manager. Having very strong fundamental design knowledge is very important, and they will excel. If you are a very fundamentally strong in design, you will be very strong project manager. Nobody can play around.
Yeah.
And also, see, this project management, people think it is totally different. For civil projects, it's all about the manpower, and leadership is the main thing. For a
Mm.
project manager, they will have project engineers under them. There will be site engineers, site team, multiple subcontractors working. You will have multiple schedules to meet. So the first and foremost thing, to become a project manager, it will take many years of experience in the field. But the thing is, you should have a very strong command to, take people's confidence on you. You are their project manager, and you can manage. You can give them schedule. You can, if some project manager is only figuring out, no, this is not done. Why this is not done? How it has to be done is more important than why it was not done. You have to guide them. This has to be done according to this. You can manage this. This is very important. At most of our site, we execute the plans according to that. Most of our sites are running prior to the committed date, is because we are giving proper instruction to our site engineers. They give proper instruction to foreman. So it will take years, because site execution is totally different than the design. So that you need to go there. Maybe when you are a design engineer, you don't have to, deal with other people other than maybe your draftsman.
Yeah.
So only thing you need to convince is this guy. The draftsman has to prepare the drawing according to your design. But when it comes to site, you will have to see hundred of things. Sometimes, you will not even imagine about the issues that are coming at site. Some unforeseen incidents may happen. So it's more about communication and,
Yeah.
gaining the
Coordinating
confidence.
with all the employees is very essential,
Exactly.
right?
Very essential, and gaining their confidence is very important.
Mm.
Gaining your subordinates' confidence on you. It doesn't mean you have to scream in front of people. Many project managers we see, they shout at front of people, but that's not required at all. In my in my company, at least we are trying not to do this kind of things. We are dealing very professionally with our employees, so that you don't have to, you give them a clear plan. Then if they come out of the plan, you should have a way to track it also. That is what a project manager has to do, rather than just pointing out, you didn't do, you didn't do. Why he didn't do, you have to figure out why he was not able to do.
Mm. Okay, sir, we have already mentioned about the opportunities in structural engineering field in the Middle East countries. So,
Yeah.
a common question among the students is where to start or how to start, because they have the aspiration to get into that particular Middle East countries or particular jobs or opportunities, but they have a lack of strategies to follow. So, can you please give them some strategies to begin with?
Yeah, get basic knowledge of design engineering. Design, you have to have it. Basic structural analysis, then the getting used to codes. These things you have to learn from yourself. Even I started my design career based on the courses that I learned from online only. I did enroll for a few courses in Skillshare, and from there I learned this basics of design with American codes. So from there, once you know these things, nobody will be able to judge you. If you are, see, practically oriented courses are there. There are few engineers who conduct courses, which is actually what the industry needs. I think the plan for Civilianz is also to start something like that. So that, tomorrow, if you are going for an interview, if you know what is actually practically what you have to do, and if you have only the textbook knowledge, anybody can figure it out. If you interview a candidate who has really worked and who just have the textbook knowledge, we can easily figure it out on interview. We call them, there are so many, unwritten practices which engineers follow to cross check for design and all these things, which they will gain only because of when they start working. Then only they will learn these things. For example, when you are designing a warehouse, someone can ask you what will be the approximate tonnage as per your experience. If you are experienced engineer only, you will be able to tell how much tonnage it will have, how much tonnage of tons of steel will be used for this, what might be the cost for it. If you have done this, you will know. If you only know from textbook, you cannot reply to these kind of questions. So As young experience, I will always tell them stick on to basics, learn codes, then connect to people from all around. LinkedIn is one of the best platform to connect to professionals, and be very professional. You don't have to please anyone for anything. Be very professional. Very good companies abroad always look for professionals rather than people pleasers. People always do, and don't know, never ever underestimate yourself. If you are able to uh, get a degree, then you are good enough. You can learn. Nothing is there that you cannot learn. These codes and relevant standards, it's nothing compared to getting a 4-year degree. So it's not a big deal to get into a multinational company at all. But stick on to basics, then gradually keep learning new things. Maybe for people who are appearing for interviews, some people always do this mistake. They go for an interview. They ask them technical question. Okay, I don't know this thing. You come out, you are not selected. So always see every interview as an opportunity to know about yourself, what you don't know, rather than what you know. So whenever you go for an interview, if you are not hired, you will always get to know what you really don't know. So try to get experience from that. Try to learn those things where you are weak. Then maybe after that interview, next couple of interviews, you will one or two interviews will show what are your weak points, what things you don't know, what are lacking in you. So try to work out on that area. Then you will have a better uh, personal portfolio, and you can present yourself in the next interview. You will get selected. This is how people hire in foreign countries.
So there is usually a common myth or a widespread belief that if you get to start a career in abroad or a Middle East country, you should have an experience on that particular country itself. So, is it really true, sir? Or anybody having that particular knowledge or that particular academics can get into Middle East country jobs
See,
easily? Or
I am a living example, so I don't think you should have a foreign experience to get into Middle East. There are many of my friends who come here as like fresher on visit visas. They keep trying jobs and they get into very good positions here without any foreign experience, not even Indian experience. Also, people come as freshers, but see here, coming as a fresher is always tough. You don't know anything here. Companies will not it's always better to gain some knowledge and come to Middle East,
yeah.
because companies always here there is no training facility in most of the companies. In India, the back office, for example, the companies
Mhm.
which we work, they have back offices in India. There they give you training. They take you as a graduate engineering trainee. They give you training, then they will make you permanent employee. Maybe after 2 years you will gain good knowledge. Then you can come to this country as a very good experienced person with the foreign same like my career started. I have 6 months of experience in Cochin only, but I got
Mhm.
used to their standards. That is the thing that I believe which helped me to get jobs here. So,
Mhm.
working in Middle East, coming as a fresher, I will not recommend, because you should have someone to get you a job. Then it's not easy. Otherwise, you should be very skillful. You should learn these courses yourself. Then, as a fresher, also you can get jobs. But here,
Mhm.
most of the companies, they look for professionals with at least 2 or 3 years of experience, so
Mhm.
that at least we don't have to give basic training. Here,
Okay.
companies don't have that much of, there is no margin for giving training to employees.
Mhm.
It's a fast moving country. The work per person, the work allotted will be like very tight. So, mostly to give you training, there should be someone senior. But most of the companies, even if you go to MNCs, they will not have that kind of facilities here. Even if it is a consultancy, also it's like that, because they have outsourcing or their branches in India and other countries. They take engineers from there. They give training in those countries and they will bring engineers here. This is very common with many of the big engineering companies in Middle East. They'll have back-end
Mhm.
offices in India. They will give training for graduates there. After 1 or 2 years, if they are interested, they will bring here. Also, there is a huge difference for the same work that an engineer who is working here in the Middle East, and the same work is being done in the India.
Okay.
So the salary package will be like, for the company the expense is half.
Hmm.
So still you can, you get experience from one company, you move to the other company. That is always there.
Yeah.
So I will always tell freshers, if you have someone to get you a job here, come. You are always welcome. But as a fresher coming here, you will have to struggle. If you are ready to struggle, you are ready to take up challenge, you will get the opportunity. It's not like no fresher will get the job here, but it's not easy. If you are thinking, it's gonna be easy. Even my initial career here was not that easy at all. I had
Hmm.
too much of struggles. I had very very low salary package, but because I was financially okay, my parents were okay. I had I was able to survive.
Yeah.
Not everyone who is coming abroad will have that financial backup. So, if you are financially strong, you have no other commitments. You take visit visa, come here, but don't come and chill out. If you chill out, months will go like days. So, but there is opportunity always. Freshers also, see, companies do take freshers, but the problem is sometimes you will get stagnated there because you don't have someone to guide you. You will have small companies will hire freshers and they'll put everything on you, and there will not be anyone to guide you as well. Then you get stuck up there. You will not see growth also. From the initial day of your career, you are going to somewhere you can learn. You have some basic knowledge, then you can expand. You don't have the knowledge and there is no one to give you knowledge also, you get stuck up there.
Hmm. So we can consider it as a common myth, right, sir? To have experience or compulsory experience in that particular
It's
field
not
is a myth.
compulsory. See, I'm not saying it is not compulsory, but
But
see,
if
to
they
get
have the experience, they can have a smooth career like that,
exactly,
right?
but that doesn't mean you should have a foreign experience.
Yeah.
You get used to Indian standards. You know basic design knowledge. You will
Mm.
get opportunity here for sure. For sure, design wise, there is only the codal limitations are different. Other
Mm.
than that, the basic design practice, everything is the same.
Same, yeah.
So that doesn't matter actually. If you have two,
Okay.
3 years of Indian experience in Indian companies, you can always
They can
try.
apply.
Yeah, but site-wise, if you're trying on field experience, field jobs, you can come here as fresher. You can start at site. You can learn from
Mm.
site but the salary packages will be much lesser
Yes,
compared to
yes.
this. And the
Yes.
work is also very intense. Here sites will be working almost 7 days a week.
Okay.
Sundays will be like most of the sites because projects are like that. Some projects we have some projects which is like 24 by 7, two shift. Like that
Okay.
also some projects are there because schedules we here the advantage of this country is, when you are signing project, you will have this project plan, the days for each project work and activities. We sign up the agreement based on that. There will be delay penalties. If it is delay from our side, we will be penalized for that. Same way, if
Okay.
the client is not paying, also we are on much safer side. We have the right to claim. We can go legally also. We are bound legally. So those things are there.
Okay, sir. Sir, from your observation, do you notice any mistakes that the aspirants or engineers are doing while connecting to getting the job in abroad? Do you notice
Yeah.
any type of mistakes they are
See,
doing?
me personally get many message from many young engineers. See, when you apply for a job, it should be relevant to your profile. First and foremost, when
Mm.
someone is hiring a structural engineer, they have a job description which requires this much of experience, this knowledge. So most of the companies, when they are posting for a vacancy, that is their requirement. If it doesn't match to your profile, don't think, I'll just give it a try and I'll just apply for it. This is first mistake I see in aspirants. Even I have done the same mistake in my early days. I say because from my mistakes only I have learned.
Yeah.
So stop doing this. Then second thing is what I see, people see it as a request to get the job. Don't you? Nobody has to go as a request. Some people will come. I get personal messages to refer them for a job or get into this vacancy or something. See, you are good. I do refer people, but if I don't know you personally, I don't know what your skill sets are. I don't know how you are performing. How can I refer you to some job? So don't ask strangers to refer you for a job unless they know what your capabilities are. That will never work. I don't do that. I don't refer strangers at all because I don't know if this guy will perform or even I always advise people not to go for references. There is two commitment. One is, someone is referring you to this job. You have a commitment towards that person that even if the employer is not good, you have to stick on. The other thing is the person who referred you to that employer will have their issue also. If you don't perform, their relationship will also be spoiled. So I guide people with career, like if they need something related to design, if they need to learn something related to steel structure, I guide. But mostly, I don't refer people who are strangers to me. If I know someone, I have worked with someone, I definitely refer. I have referred people also. But asking say strangers for references is something you should avoid.
Mm.
That be very professional with people. Don't be people pleaser. Anywhere you go, work as per see. Sometimes we see people. I'm underpaid. I will not do this much of work. This is one mindset you have to keep away. You are underpaid. You are underpaid. Then don't sign up for this job. First thing. Some companies, maybe because of their budget constraint, they can only pay this because of their budgets also. Your expectation will be much higher. Then when you join in a company, many companies will have, even multinational companies also, for the same position, not everyone will be having same salary scale. It is an absolute truth. Many people, maybe you are a senior engineer and there is another senior engineer who is working in a better salary than you. Don't compare your salary with other people. If you feel okay, you are underpaid, you always have the right to move out or choose another thing. Same way with freshers also. When you join, you see you are getting an offer letter, you know what the companies can provide. Some people after joining, they will start requesting employees, I need increment, I need other allowances. So that's one unfair practice. I never did it in my career when I was an employee. I never asked for increments. I never stayed back for increment also. I moved out also. 3 years I changed three companies. So I also don't see people, unless they are fairly treated, nobody will stick on to any company. So yeah, my employees also, I am expecting same thing only. See, you are professional. My relationship with you is a professional relationship. You are working fair. I will pay you fair salary. If my salary is not fair to you, you always have the opportunity. You are good enough to move out, find better opportunity. Nothing more than that.
Mm.
So same thing as freshers, people when mostly I think people who come here as freshers, when they come on visit visa for the first time, just before completing their visa period, they will be under too much pressure. They are not getting a job. They will think some job is enough for me. Maybe even as a helper also I will join after graduation. So maybe because of different people's situation, I see many people doing the same thing. It's not a mistake. We cannot tell it is a mistake. Maybe their situation is like that. So if your situation is like that, you don't have any other option. Don't come to you don't go to any foreign country and spoil your time. Get experience, maybe in a lesser salary in India, but see that as an investment. Initial 5 years of anyone's career, we should see as an investment. So whatever knowledge you gain in first 5 years of your career, that will decide where you will reach in next 15 or 20
Future.
years.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Apart from the technical abilities or knowledge, to get adapt into a multinational working environment? What type of soft skills should that particular aspirant need?
For structural engineers, mostly, if you don't communicate other people also, it will not matter at all. To be frank, this is a reality. Because everybody in this country will come at the office 8 o'clock till evening 6 o'clock. They are busy with their work.
Yeah.
Soft skills, you will not get time also. If you are very introvert also, this is best thing you can do. You will be the best employee, to be frank. Companies like introverts in structural engineers because they don't speak and they don't waste their time. They are always focused on the work. This is one fun fact, but I'm just telling that way. But see, always you should have a good relationship with your colleagues, your seniors. So that will always enhance you in everywhere. I have very good relationship with all these people because I was very proactive. I don't stick on to say, even if I moved out also, I didn't have any of my employers. Still, I am working with them. When I started my firm, they are supporting me because mostly when people move out of companies, always keep this thing in your mind. Make good terms with your employers and close things in a good way with your. That doesn't mean you don't have to please them. You can be very professional so that they will respect you. This guy is very professional with his work. He does his work on time. He is doing his work as per what is required. He doesn't do something more or less. That is okay. Do your work as per what is required. That is more than enough. So, and soft skills, it is always important for you to grow in your career or in your life. Dealing with people is very important. Anywhere you go, maybe you cannot expect everyone to be fair with you. There will be always different type of people anywhere, not just Indian guys. Maybe other people also will be there to bring troubles to you in your career. You should be smart enough to deal with these people, then you will succeed.
Yeah.
And in professional working atmosphere, it is always to stick away from unnecessary gambling gangs. So this is one thing I follow in my career. But I am very active with everyone in every activities I take part. That is always required. Don't stay shy away from activities when some of your colleagues are, arranging some maybe some activities there. Try to be part of it. Be nice with people. That's more than enough.
Okay. Okay, sir. If we look ahead in the future, our 5 to 10 years, so what will be the demand of structural engineers in the abroad or Middle East countries? What do you think, sir?
See, here, as I told you, here all the authorities are making it mandatory for engineers quota. That is mandatory for companies to upgrade their status. Also, engineers are mandatory. So, structural engineers, especially civil engineers, there is huge demand in these countries. The infrastructure is booming like anything here. Here, the Etihad rail is coming. Then the logistic operations will be like doubled almost. They will open many other industrial hubs here. There are many mega projects coming up also. So next 10, 15 or 20 years also, the demand will not come down in Middle East. Even Saudi is also now, they are opening up in a very good way. Rules are being loosened now. So like not like before, there is a lot of opportunity for women also there. So hopefully in next 10, 15 years, Saudi will also become as same as the UAE, maybe. So there is enough opportunity in the Middle East.
Okay, sir. I think we have covered all the things, but to a final lap, can you share an advice to our students who are watching this? Uh, what should they focus on about their career, or how they can begin a career in the structural engineering field, like that of token of advice to our students?
I'm nobody to advise. I'm not yet in a position to figure out whether the things I have done is right or I am successful. I'm not yet in that position. I'm still young. So the thing which I can tell people is, these things which I told, when you are applying for a job or when you are going for a job, be professional. Nothing more, nothing less. You are going for employment. Don't think it is home. People will treat you fair. It will not be like that. So that's only a professional relationship. You are paid for what you are doing. If you are not paid, you can move out to place where you are paid for. So same thing. You don't think like it's like a pocket money they are paying for. They are paying you for to do the work they are expecting. So that is very important. And as structural engineers, when you get job into structural engineering, maybe like for example, if you are a pre-engineered building designer, don't just stick on to that. Once you start doing almost jobs will be very typical, especially in this field. You will get used to this, you will do this. It's like you don't think find anything out of the box later. So don't stop learning new things. Try to keep upgrading yourself, and don't stick on to comfort zones. Maybe like some people stick on to their comfort zone for 10, 15 years. Then later, I see people regretting because they will always see. Because I started this company at very young age. When they are seeing me now, they because I'm not that successful. I'm not saying I'm successful, but people when they meet me always tell I should have done this at your age. So there is always calculated. You have to take calculated risk at your each stage of your career. If you want to grow, you have to take calculated risk. Calculated risk means whether see at many stages when I shifted companies, I didn't have a backup job. Not because I got an offer, I am moving out to another company. I took calculated risk means whether I can sustain for another 3 or 4 months without salary, whether my family will not be affected. So because I have to tell one thing, my wife has always supported me. We both are supporting each other at different phases of our career. When she was planning to switch, I was there as a backup. When I was planning to switch, she was there as a backup. When I started this company also, she had a very fair, good job. Because of that, I could take this risk. Same way, if you are unmarried, you have to see your expenses, whether you can sustain without job or without when you are moving out. For example, many people doesn't move out of a company because they are afraid whether they will get opportunity, whether other companies will treat you like the same way, whether you will have this comfort zone. If you think like that, you will not grow in your career. And you have see, I'm not telling encouraging people to move out to different companies, but when you move from one company to another company, you will learn something new there. Maybe something to related, not related to the work you are doing. Maybe to the work atmosphere. Different companies will have a different work atmosphere. Their procedures will be different. So something new you will learn, something new you will adapt to. So that is very important in career. So but if a company is giving you the opportunity to grow yourself, to enhance yourself, you don't have to even think about moving out. You are sitting in a corner and doing the same job for 20, 30 years without sufficient growth, then you think about moving out. Other than
Okay.
that, what I say is, nowadays what we see in young engineers is their reluctancy to learn new things or to, work beyond their limit. So, initial days of your career, don't think, even I started in my early career doing multiple roles for, but my salary package is only for the design engineer. The first company I worked in UAE was a Korean company. That was a light gauge steel structure company, one of the startups. I did everything from marketing, accounts, company management, procurement, sales, site execution, even for shipping to foreign countries. I did for that company. So these things helped me to know many things which is out of structural engineering. I can tell I am only a structural engineer. I will do this only. Nobody will ask. But I saw it as an opportunity to learn new things, to explore new things. So that has helped me in my career. If you have that mindset, 90% of the people have a mindset to be a worker. If you have the mindset to be a worker, be the worker. So
Yeah.
there you need to, because see, the companies run because people, 80% of the employees are ready to work rather than running the company. We need people like that. Then only companies will run. Otherwise, if everyone wants to run a company, the company will never work.
Yeah.
So if you are very good at what you do, stick on to it. If you want to do something on your own, maybe in another 5 to 10 years, don't limit yourself to the salary package you are getting or the job description you are given to. Then you will never be able to, grow out of that. If you
Mm.
want to grow out of it, you have to do some extra step more than what you have to do.
Okay. Okay, sir, it was truly an insightful session for the aspirants and the young engineers. And thank you so much for sharing your valuable experiences, knowledge in the field of industries, and also the practical guidance to the aspirants who are watching this. And thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure actually. I met your co-founders in one of the meeting here. So it was
Okay.
very inspiring for me also. I know civilians from long time. Many of my friends have taken coachings, I think, from civilians before.
Yeah.
So I know civilians because they came here. So I met them. Uh, I have too much of busy schedules nowadays, but still somehow I wanted to
Yeah.
do a session for them at least, because
Okay.
I found this very insightful that they are training graduate engineers to make
Yeah.
them industry ready. That is very important because people who graduate and doesn't know what they have to do to get a job is very bad. We most of the engineers who graduate in India go through this phase, because did my masters in NIT Jalandhar. In my batch, nobody got placement. For campus
Okay.
placement, nobody got a placement. My seniors got uh, two guys got placement in my senior batch. So
Mm.
that is the harsh reality what we face in India. And
Yeah.
people who graduate from this prestigious institute also, after their masters, most of my friends went for PhD only,
Mm.
because that is more easier than finding a job. You
Yeah.
get stipend, you get paid. At least that is more safer.
And skill development courses are more advantage.
Exactly. So
Yes.
skill development and training engineers to become real practical engineers is more
Mm.
important. That is what we are lacking in India
Yeah.
compared to foreign countries. We see graduate engineers coming from other countries. They are actually much better than us, we feel. But
Yeah.
our engineers, they have strong basic knowledge. They don't know the
Mm.
practical knowledge.
Practical
But
knowledge. Yeah.
later stage, why our people come above all these people is because they have the basic knowledge. When we fine tune them to get them trained to the industry, they will excel. So if we are giving that training in the just after their graduation as a career completion course or something, that will be very helpful for young engineers actually.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much for the session and for your valuable time. I had to mention that. Thank you so much.
It's absolutely my pleasure. Thank you so much.
For the aspirants and young engineers who are watching this session, I'm sure that it was an insightful, truly an inspiring and knowledgeable session. Thank you for watching.